guys are not allowed to walk the perimeter line and take video.
Perimeter line being where? Because our perimeter is like there.
This is under search warrant.
Yeah.
So CFIA has control of your property. They were gracious enough to allow you to access the house, and that's it.
Gracious to,
like, you got to understand from our position, we're separate property from the ostrich ranch.
Your property is under warrant.
But why?
I'm not going to explain that to you.
Oh, okay.
Right now, I've talked to CFIA.
Mhm.
They said they're giving you permission to access the house and nowhere else on the property.
well, we have to access the garden. Like there's
We have a
harvesting
garlic-
that has
we have
to
a
happen.
garlic
That's
crop.
why
Is the
we're.
garlic over here?
Yeah, it's just over there.
Because I saw you guys walking the entire perimeter filming.
Well, the entire perimeter, that's where the garlic
See,
is.
like what we're talking about, this is 5 acres that's fenced in. Our perimeter goes up to that fence and it goes way down there.
Okay, but I'm going to be very clear on the facts.
Okay.
CFIA expressed you can access, it's uncommon for somebody to access a search warrant area, right? It's a secure scene.
Yeah.
They said you may come onto the property only to access the house. The RCMP are not the lead authority here.
Yeah.
However, being that it's a search warrant, we lawfully need to ensure, in conjunction with CFIA, that nothing's being breached, right?
Right.
So I give one warning, and I know there's been some misinformation. Listen.
I'm just saying, like, can you understand? Like, this is our property for 18 years.
I understand.
This
However,
is our perimeter.
However, there's rules in place that need to be followed.
Yeah.
Okay? So when you're walking around filming us, that's not picking garlic. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
We respect what you guys are doing here wholeheartedly.
And the problem is we're the messengers, right? This
Totally.
isn't an RCMP investigation.
Yeah.
This is
No,
CFIA.
I know. Yeah.
So I spoke to the CFI lead and I said, please inform me of what you've advised before I enter and have a conversation.
Yeah, the CFI has never spoken to us ever.
Never.
I won't get into that because I don't deal with their communication channels.
Yeah.
I'm solely here because what I was told by CFIA is that they allowed you access only to the house, not to walk the perimeter.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So
that's fine. Nobody's explained that to us because we've never spoken to the CFIA.
To explain it to you.
Yeah, that's all
right?
good.
These lines are very clear, and we have to ensure that nobody colors outside of them.
That's fine.
Right?
Yeah, it's just if somebody defines those lines for us because we didn't know.
Well, when they say you shall only access the house and nowhere else.
But it said the dwelling. So we thought this 5 acres is considered a dwelling.
Well, I'm not going to get into the legal optics of it.
Yeah.
I'm coming from the police perspective in enforcement of the CFIA investigation.
Yeah.
Where there's a search warrant on your property. So I'm not here to get into a conversation that's not going to work for either of us. I just want to explain. That's why I made some phone calls before I came in. Because I'm not going to come in here misinformed.
Yeah.
The information on record from CFIA, they spoke to you guys. They said you shall only access.
The CFIA never did, though.
And I don't know that, right?
That's just me clarifying for you that they've never have. Is that we've tried contacting, and she contacted Nikas or RCMP to get information, but nobody ever responded.
There's a certain communication channel you guys need to access, whether you use the family at the farm.
Yeah.
But there's a certain communication channel that has to take place. It can't happen between us. It needs to go through the CFIA. They are the lead.
Totally. Yeah.
Right?
I know we're trying to get a hold of them.
Okay. And I know I've heard earlier today there's some frustration in that.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah.
Right? Because then it avoids these type of incidents where we have to come in and be like, listen.
Totally.
This is.
What a bunch of idiots. And I'm not talking about Katie's cousin. I'm talking about the RCMP and the CFIA. This is a revolting situation. Our family farm. It actually has nothing to do with the ostrich farm. This is a neighboring farm. They have been forbidden to even pick the garlic. Oh, and don't film the RCMP or the CFIA because what they're doing is secret. This country has devolved into a catastrophic authoritarian mess where people who own their land aren't even allowed to access that land. Oh, they can go into their house And the CFIA has been gracious enough to allow that. These goons, this is time. We need to remove the CFIA from this property now. Remove them and remove the RCMP until the Supreme Court rules on whether or not to hear this case. Case closed. We need to remove the CFIA, and we will have to do more, obviously, to embarrass the CFIA, to indict them for animal cruelty, to charge them, and to get this organization off of these people's land. This has gone way too far, and any Canadian with half a brain can see how stupid this has become. Now let's have a look at some more of this, because this is absolutely incredible. I can't tell you how frustrating this is too. All right. Look at this. The CFI now has taken control of a neighboring property at the ostrich farm. So that's who you were talking. That's Katie's cousin. Katie Pasitney's cousin. Email notification to the government is now required for a woman to visit her mother's house near the BC ostrich farm. Canada may arrest you if you want to visit your mother without an email. And Rebel News has been covering this, and we're all trying to get the word out. This is absolutely crazy. And of course, Katie is still trying to get these charges dropped that the RCMP leveled against her and her mother when they tried to feed their ostriches on the first day of the invasion from the CFIA. They were literally goaded, the CFIA entrapped them into feeding their ostriches and then got them charged with animal cruelty for trying to feed their ostriches. This is how stupid this situation has become. Thank God for people like this. Clearway Car Rental in Abbotsford has canceled their contract with the CFIA. Keep going. Call on the Save on Fence Rentals and Hay Bale Company. Do not cooperate. Do not comply. Happy Thanksgiving. Absolutely incredible. Now here's another story which I've got to highlight. This is, of course, woke Vancouver. Doesn't get any worse. Just talking to somebody in church this morning, he just got back from Vancouver. And of course, you go down Hastings Street, and there's blocks after blocks after blocks of drug addicts defecating, urinating on the sidewalks, passed out everywhere, drug paraphernalia everywhere. That's Vancouver now. Yeah, it's been taken over by the crazy people, by the far left, and that's what the country is. And now they've canceled a J.K. Rowling festival. And look at who the hell is Tom Digby, who's saying last night park board did the right thing, apologized to whatever the hell that is, 2GD2S. I have no idea what that stands for. I can probably something to do with transgender and two-spirited. This is how stupid this is. And well, they have a community. Really, Tom? Do they live? They have their own little gated community in Vancouver, do they? How wonderful. After an emotional discussion, shared some tears. What the hell are you crying about, you idiot? Disavowed JKR. Oh, nothing. JK Rowling will undertake concrete actions to rebuild trust. You people are just pathetic. So I love this response from J.K. Rowling. And I'm not a big fan of J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series. It's very occultic. It's full of witchcraft, which is not something I agree with. But I sure as hell wouldn't want her censored. I know a lot of people like it. And I am not in the censorship category. And I don't want her banned or her books banned or anything banned because somebody doesn't like her views on gender ideology. And J.K. Rowling believes there's a biological difference between a man and a woman. She can define what a woman is. I'm sure, Tom, you can't define that. I'm sure you'd have real difficulty trying to define that. And J.K. Rowling says, to be honest, I didn't even know Vancouver Parks and Recreation had avowed me. So the disavowal hasn't been much of a blow. Next time, send me a certificate of avowal. Wait until I've proudly framed it, hung it over my PC and taken a selfie with it, then revoke it. Yeah. Yeah, and of course, X keeps encouraging me to follow the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, which their X site says is all about safeguarding food, animals, and plants. What a crock that is. And here we go, rolling authoritarianism. Now Mark Carney, Inspection Canada, CFI, has locked down the entire area. Neighbors of Universal Ostrich Farms not allowed to harvest their garlic. Are they trying to shut down agriculture in BC altogether? Why? Why did the CFIA keep increasing their power grab when there is a Supreme Court of this Canada state? They're not listening to the Supreme Court of Canada. They're doing whatever the hell they please. And my concern, as I keep saying, is that we are going to be into an unofficial kill unless we get these people off the property. We need to get these people off the property because, as I've said repeatedly, the CFIA is off the rails. They're unaccountable to anybody. They're the lead agency in this, meaning they just tell the RCMP what's going to happen. RCMP is powerless in this because the CFIA is basically a, how shall we call it, a paramilitary force? Yeah. The CFIA has become a paramilitary force that can move into your backyard, move into your farm, and start killing animals because it says so. Doesn't matter if they're healthy. It doesn't matter if it's been 7 or 8 months. They just do whatever the hell their policy says. And now they're taking over adjacent farms to the Universal Ostrich Farms. And these people are not allowed to pick the garlic. No, you can go into your house, and the CFI has been gracious enough. Oh, well, where the hell are they supposed to sleep? You know. But don't take your video camera out, folks. Don't be doing any filming, because what we're doing is secret. That's why we have bales of hay around our little execution area. So as I've said throughout this process, Katie has been unable, has been forced, has been banned from finding out how many ostriches are remaining. She suspects the CFIA is up to no good. She has proven maltreatment, animal cruelty by the CFIA against the ostriches. It's all on video. But she cannot do anything to intervene in the process. She can't even find out what the status is. And the vet she sends in, her veterinarian, can't do it either. The RCMP is not allowed to tell her how many ostriches are left. Folks, this has got to stop before this country goes completely off the edge into authoritarianism. And this is why more and more Canadians are waking up to the story and saying, hey, you know, it's not just about those ostriches. It's not just about that farm. It's about my house. It's about my property. It's about my pets that could be killed or taken away from me because the CFIA says so. This is about my freedom. It's about my property rights. This is about whether Canada is a slave state or a real democratic state. I don't think we're very democratic anymore. And as I've documented on this station, every day last week, we've got censorship bills coming at us en masse. At least 3 of them, possibly 4. And that's why if you love this country, if you think the country's worth saving, tell the agriculture minister to stop the madness in Edgewood, BC. Tell the CFIA to get its grubby hands off of these ostriches and off of this family. Tell them to go home. We're going to be waiting at least another week, possibly 2, for a Supreme Court decision. Do these people have to continue to put up with the CFIA activity on their farm until they get an answer from the Supreme Court? This is ridiculous. The RCMP and the CFIA needs to go home to do something productive for a change and not sit on this farm intimidating the people who own it. So I want to see some action on this next week. I encourage everybody to do something, do as much as you can to, let's say, encourage them to leave. And Katie has never, ever validated or encouraged any kind of action that is in any way improper, violent, or undue. She has been fighting back in the most respectful, the most dignified, and the most cooperative way possible. And that's what she's going to continue to do. Hopefully we'll have her on the show Tuesday, but that's about all we have for today. Thanks for watching. And don't give up. Don't give up. Oh, yeah, wanted to show you this. Sorry. This is evidence, again, that the CFIA is actively harassing the birds.
The person appears to have a string in their hand of some sort, or twine. I don't think it's enough to lasso the bird. They may be giving up.
We just walked this line. She didn't have it in her hand before.
Those sunglasses look very sealed up. And then there's another one way down at the far end here.
Let's have a look at that again. Here. That's what we're talking about. This picture here. This guy is carrying like a lasso or lariat, and they're trying to capture the bird. Why? What are they doing with them? There's no cull order. The cull order has been suspended. It's been stayed. So why are they doing this? This is the question. They won't answer. Katie can't ask the question. The CFIA is a goon squad, a death squad, people dressed up in their hazmat costumes, pretending these birds represented some kind of danger to public health. So that's what we're talking about here. Yeah, run away from that guy. This is absolutely, yeah, and you can see it there. So that's what we're dealing with here, folks. Yeah, there you go. Showed it to you again. And as soon as he realizes it's being filmed, if there's a video camera there, or a smartphone or whatever filmed this, he hides it. He hides it. So, you know, that's the this is absolutely beyond reason. And this has to stop. We're going to keep documenting this for as many days as this takes. We want the CFIA off of this farm before they can do any more damage, because clearly the evidence is there that they're continuing to harass and terrorize these birds. And what are they doing with them? This is like an unofficial killing. God only knows what they're doing, because they're shielding themselves from all media attention. They're shielding themselves from attention from the family. And we are not allowed to know what's going on, and that's unacceptable. And I want to thank my producer for putting that on at the end, because that's what we're dealing with here. There's the lasso or the lariat in his hands. He tries to hide it as soon as he knows he's being filmed. These clowns, this is a gong show. This is, go back to your circus. Get off this farm. And if you ate today, thank a farmer.